Hi, Pastor Lee here. Thank you for taking just a few moments to join with me as we discuss moving back into our sanctuary for in-person worship. Since May, this has been our sanctuary. We've been coming here every Sunday morning and cars driving up, parking here on the campus. We've been up on the stage having our service, and we are so thankful that we've been able to do this. It was a very good reminder that the church is not the building. But as we begin to move into the cooler months, the weather is not so cooperative when it comes to outdoor worship. So with the leadership of our church, we are going to move into the sanctuary this coming Sunday, November 1st, and be as safe as we possibly can be. So I want to share a few things with you today that will help you be more at ease with this process. First of all, if you're not comfortable joining with us for in-person worship, that's okay. We're still going to provide multiple ways for you to get to join with us in worship. Maybe you just want to drive up and get a nice Sunday morning drive. You can drive right up on the campus. You can park anywhere here on the campus and listen to us on 91.1 FM. That station is broadcast within the church grounds, and so you'll have no problem listening to us on the radio. We will do our best to stream a live service at 11 a.m. on Facebook. However, you understand that our internet service here at the church is not very strong, and so sometimes we have a little bit of difficulty with that signal, but we will do our best to make sure that there's a live streaming signal at 11 a.m. each Sunday morning. And then also, we will provide our edited service on our YouTube channel later on Sunday afternoon. So, in-person worship, drive up in your car, listen on the radio, join us on Facebook Live wherever you are, or later in the afternoon, spend some time with us on our YouTube channel, Cone Baptist Church, Eastville, Virginia, on YouTube. So now let's go inside and talk about what it's going to look like when we return to in-person worship. So the first thing you're going to notice when you come into the church for our in-person worship is that masks will be required. Now, we're not trying to infringe on anyone's personal rights, but we all know that if you wear a mask, you're protecting others. And so that's our goal, is help us to protect other people. It creates a sense of calm because we know that you care if we see you wearing a mask. So we will require that masks be worn. The only exception to this will be in the process of conducting a religious ritual. That's what the state tells us anyway. So in moments like this Sunday when we're going to experience communion, you can take the mask off for that, but then we ask that you put it right back on. Also, those who are going to be up on our stage area will not be required to wear masks as long as they properly social distance, because they will be at least 15 feet away from anybody else. But once they step down off the stage area into the sanctuary area where the pews are, they also will be required to wear masks. One of our deacons will be sitting here in this area, the foyer, and when you come in, hand sanitizer will be available, and they'll have it in their hands so that only one person is touching the bottle, and they'll provide it if you want it. They're not going to require it, but if you would like to have some hand sanitizer coming in or going out of the building, they will provide this for you. So, as you come into the sanctuary, you must have a mask on, and you must remain on while you're in the pew area of the sanctuary, and we hope that you'll help us with this. Now let's move into the sanctuary and talk about how things are going to look in there. So as you come into the sanctuary to have a seat, you're going to notice that the pews have been marked with blue tape. And the purpose for this is to allow you to be at least 6 feet away from the folks who are not part of your immediate household. So we ask that you not remove the tape. You'll notice that the pews that are closed are marked off with blue tape. But you'll also notice that there's a blue line on each pew. And that's to remind you that as long as you're between that blue line and the end of this pew, there's a 6-foot distance between the next blue line at the other end of the pew. So if you come and you sit here and you have someone sit beside you, there's a good 6-foot gap before the other end of the pew where other people may sit. Now, if you come in with a large family and you go beyond that blue line, that's okay. You get the entire pew. If you're sitting on one of the side aisles, there is room for 2 people at the opposite ends of each pew. Or a small family, again, can take the entire pew. So every other pew is marked off. We're trying to provide that 6-foot distance for everyone's safety. So please help us with this. There will be deacons here in the sanctuary that will be helping you find a seat when you come in. And we're going to try to dismiss the services as safely as possible. You can either go out through the fellowship hall or you can go back out through the doors that you came in. But again, we ask you to maintain 6 foot of safe distancing. Thank you for your understanding with this. I know it's going to be complicated and I know it's going to be a little bit of a curve at the beginning, but that's okay. We're going to work through this together and we're going to be as safe as possible. So when you come into the sanctuary, you may also notice there are some strange devices, things that you've not seen before in the sanctuary. And all of that is to help us to provide our online services, special lighting, tripods, and things like that. We're just trying to do our best to provide the safest environment that we can. So let's recap for just a moment. As we come back into the sanctuary on the first Sunday in November of 2020, we are going to require that you wear masks while you're in the building. And if you forget one, we will provide one for you. We're also going to require that you socially distance. As I shared with you earlier, the pews have been marked with blue tape to help you know how far apart we need to have between each household. All of the pews, you'll find that the hymn books and Bibles have been removed, so it's very important that you bring your own Bible or make sure that you have a Bible app on your phone. We're trying to reduce the amount of commonly touched surfaces. When you come into the sanctuary, there'll be a deacon here to help provide for you a seat. And then at the end of the service, as you either go out through the fellowship hall or through the back doors of the foyer, deacons will also kind of help you leave and be spaced out. We're excited about coming back into the sanctuary for in-person worship. And we know it's going to be a little difficult at first. But we want you to know that it's the desire of our deacons and myself as your pastor to do the very best that we can to keep you safe. Many of you, just as in my wife's family, have been touched deeply by a death from the coronavirus. So we want to be absolutely sure that we keep you as safe as possible. So for the limited time, for the immediate future, we will not have Sunday school or children's church or the nursery. So please be patient with us. We'll introduce those back in as slowly and as soon as we possibly can. But we also want to make you aware of this. There's a lot of discussion about the numbers of cases going up. And if at any moment we feel that it's just not sustainable to continue to come in here safely, then we will go back to just online services only throughout the winter months. Now we hope it doesn't come to that, but we want you to know that we're going to be extra cautious. And so if the leadership of our state or the public health leaders tell us we need to stop coming together, then we'll go back to an online worship. Because just as I've said to you before, this building, as much as we love it and as much as we give God the praise for having this place set aside for us to come and worship and to gather weekly, this is not the church. It's the church house. We are the church, the body of Christ. And whether we're in this building or whether we're viewing online as we are right now, whether we're at home or wherever we find ourselves, we are the church. And this pandemic has reminded us of that for sure. I pray that God will bless you. And I pray if you feel comfortable coming to join with us, that you'll come. Now, seating will be limited. We do have some room in the balcony, and we will have some overflow in the sanctuary listening on a radio for the first few Sundays until we can get some more video equipment set up. It's not the most ideal situation, but we feel at this point, this is the safest thing that we can do. And I pray that you'll continue to pray for the congregation, that you'll continue to pray for all those who are on the front lines, who are doing their best to keep us safe and healthy. And I know that God's going to bless us through this because He already has. In the midst of all of this doing things in a different way, God has blessed. And we've seen it. So thank you for your prayers and your continued support. And if you feel like you can join us, come in person. But if not, join us online and let us know that you're watching. We appreciate it very much. And may God bless you.